learners, Miss Jackson Smith here with another second grade math lesson. Today we're learning all about bar graphs, and to participate with me, make sure you have a pencil and a piece of paper. So let's just get started. This video is for Wednesday, May 20th. For our warm-up for today, we are going to do another comparison problem. So right now I want you to try and remember what is a comparison problem and what have we learned about strategies we can use to solve it. So now we're going to take a look at this problem and read the story. The story says there are 24 penguins sliding on the ice. There are 18 whales splashing in the ocean. So how many more, that's the comparison part, penguins are there than whales are there? Whoops, let me reread that. How many more penguins than whales are there? So we're comparing how many penguins to how many whales, and we want to find the difference amount. So 24 penguins, 18 whales, how many more penguins than whales are there? That how many more part is kind of our key clue that it's a comparison story. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a little bit of what we learned about picture graphs yesterday to do a drawing. And so my two categories are penguins and whales. And I know there's 24 penguins, 18 whales. So I drew that I'm also going to use a legend here to show that each circle represents one animal. You don't have to do that, but I figured I would make a connection to picture graphs from yesterday. So I drew dots for my penguins. I want you to go ahead and draw dots also. I did groups of 5. So I did 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 21, 22, 23, 24. That way I know I did exactly 24 dots. So you go ahead, draw your dots in groups of 5. Then I want you to go ahead and also draw your dots for whales. There's 18 whales, and so make sure that you have 18 total. And you also want to line them up so that it's easy to compare. So this is what mine looks like, and I'll give you a little time to catch up. Don't stress. But the reason we're drawing this is so it's easy to look and compare to count how many is the difference. So we're doing groups, and pause the video if you need a little extra time. So what I like about this drawing is I see that there's a group of 5 penguins and a group of 5 whales. Because those are the same, we can kind of think of them canceling out. So here's another group of 5 penguins, another group of 5 whales. It's the same, let's keep going. 5 penguins, 5 whales. And then when we get up here, we've got 1, 2, 3 penguins, 1, 2, 3 whales. And then I'm just going to draw a line right here to say, okay, up until this line, it's the same amount. But then the penguins, we kept going with more penguins, and then there weren't more whales. So what our question's asking for us to find out is what is the value of this amount right here, this missing chunk that is the difference between the number of penguins and the number of whales. So now that we've done our drawing, it's super easy to just count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more penguins than whales. So I'd say 6 more. For our number sentence, we could write 18 plus something equals 24, or 24 minus 18 equals something. Both of those would be number sentences that represent the problem. And our answer is that there's 6 more penguins than whales. Give yourselves a pat on the back. We're getting really good at comparison, which is so important because in 3rd grade, you're definitely going to see some problems that ask you how many more or how many less. So that's why this is so important. So now let's learn some new keywords because our new kind of graph for today is bar graphs. We've already learned tables, we've already learned picture graphs, and so now we get to learn bar graphs. So the keywords for today, these are the different parts of a bar graph. So at the top, there is the title. Just like all these other graphs, the title tells us what the graph is showing. Then there's going to be a bar. This is a new part of the graph. This part is the shaded area that shows the number in the category. So for mammals, we shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes. So that would show that there are 8 mammals. Next is categories. You've been learning about categories all week. Those are the different groups of things that with something that they all have in common. And then the last thing is scale. So the scale is the number line on the bar graph. And so this tells us if we've filled in up until that number, that's how many we have. So here the mammals filled up to 8, the reptiles filled up to 5, the fish filled up to 3. So you see I'm kind of counting over here and then I go down to find the number. So let's try together. I've got a new table and a new empty bar graph that you're going to help me fill in. So the first step is I'm going to label it. I'll write the title and the categories, just like for all of these graphs. So I'm just going to copy from my table. I have the titles O'Brien's Farm Animals, so this must be some guy's animals on his farm. And then I'm going to copy the categories. We have goats, we have pigs, we have cows, and chickens. Next up, my next step is to write the scale. This is new. On all of our other graphs, we haven't had a scale, but a scale is just numbers starting from 0 and counting up by ones. So I fill it in just like this. I make sure that my numbers line up with the lines so that then once it's full, then it's that many numbers. So that's all it for the scale. Now this is the most fun step with a bar graph, is that I get to shade in to fill in the bars to represent the number of animals in each category. So let's start off with goats. Goats, it says we have 12 goats, so I'm going to shade it in all the way to the end because the end would be 12. Next up, let's do pigs. Pigs, it says 5, so I shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, and yep, that lines up just right with 5. Now we're going to do cows, that's 7, so it goes all the way to 7, and chickens goes to 8. So now I'm all done making my bar graph. What I need your help with now is answering questions about this graph. So just like we've done with all our other lessons this week, we look at a graph so that we can answer questions about the data. So we can say who has the most, who has the least, how many altogether, and we can ask comparison questions. So watch me answer a comparison question. Your job right now is just listen to the steps I do. So first off, I have to read my problem. How many more mammals than reptiles are there? Right away, you probably know this too. I have to compare. It asks me how many more. You also might have noticed it asks about mammals and reptiles. So those are the categories we're going to look at. Well, first off, let's look at mammals. How many mammals are there? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted them, but I also could have just gone down to see that it was 8. So mammals is 8. Reptiles, let's do that strategy of just go over and down. Reptiles is 5. So I'm not done yet because I remember that I have to compare. Comparison means that I'm probably going to subtract. 8 minus 5 is going to tell me how many more mammals there were than reptiles, and it's 3. I can check my work on my bar graph. After the reptiles ended, we had to go 1, 2, 3 more to get to the total number of mammals. So that helps me check my work. So there are 3 more mammals than reptiles. Woohoo! Good job, Miss Jackson Smith. Now it's our turn to do this together. So get your pencil and your paper ready. Do not copy down the bar graph. That would be crazy. That would take so long. But just write down your number sentences and your notes while you're solving the problem, okay? Here we go. So let's look at this chart. It's the same graph, but it's a new question. How many fewer fish than reptiles are there? What 2 categories are you going to look at? If you thought fish and reptiles, you are right. So let's find out and write down how many fish there are and how many reptiles there are. Go ahead and write that down. How many fish? How many reptiles? How many fish? How many reptiles? All right, I went on my chart and I looked at fish and I went over and down. So fish is 3. Then I did reptiles and I went over and down. Reptiles is still 5. So fish 3, reptiles 5. Now we're ready to compare. I want you to pick up your pencil and think to yourself, what number sentence can you write to find the difference between reptiles and fish? Are we going to add or are we going to subtract? We want to find out this missing amount. I would write down 5 minus 3 because that would tell us the difference. Now, what is 5 minus 3? 5 minus 3 is 2, and I can use my picture to check. It's just 1, 2. So there are 2 fewer fish than reptiles. Give yourselves a big hug because you are doing such a great job, and let's just keep going and try one more problem, okay? This one's a tricky one, so get ready. How many more mammals and fish are there than birds and reptiles? There's a tricky thing in this problem, and I'm going to tell you what it is. This problem is asking us to compare, which you guys are really great at, but it's also asking us to compare groups of animals. So putting 2 categories together. We're putting together the mammals and the fish, and then we're putting together the birds and the reptiles. So go ahead and write down a number sentence for the mammals plus the fish, and then the birds plus the reptiles. 2 different number sentences. Go ahead, write them down. All right, mammals has 8 and fish has 3. So my number sentence for mammals and fish is 8 plus 3. Now, let's look at birds and reptiles. Birds is 4, reptiles is 5. So my number sentence for birds and reptiles is 4 plus 5. Now, all you have to do is just solve those 2 number sentences to find the number in each group. Go ahead and do that on your own. You should have gotten 8 plus 3 is 11. Whoops. And 4 plus 5 is 9. We're not done yet because we wanted to know how many more are in this group than in this group. There's 11 in this group and 9 in this group. So let's write a number sentence to compare. Remember, compare is code for subtraction. We're going to do 11 minus 9. 11 minus 9 is 2, and so that means our answer is there's 2 more mammals and fish than birds and reptiles. That seemed like a tricky problem, but it turns out you guys know how to do all of the different steps. And that is our video lesson for today. You guys did a great job. Don't forget to finish and answer all your questions and press submit, and then you're done with math for Wednesday. Great job, and I'll see you again on Thursday.